Hey everyone, welcome back to the monthly forecast astrology reading for the month ahead. This is for May 2025. As usual, if you join me here, if you've watched before, you know that I do the forecast for the month ahead with the astrology. So I talk about different signs, what to expect, what the energies are, and then I do the cards for your sign based on your element. The timestamps are all below. Just a couple of quick things. If you'd like to book a reading from me or with me, the website is www.readingswithsusan.net. You can also join me on Patreon. Please come and join me on Patreon. I love Patreon. I do extra content there, extra videos every month. So, for example, every single month, without fail, I do the new moon video, but more in depth. So I might talk about the new moon, full moon here. But for Patreon, I go much more in depth. I talk about it for every single sign, what to expect based on your sun, moon, or rising sign. With timestamps, I also talk about what to expect, and I show the chart and I discuss the chart. So, and also usually with Patreon, I will get this reading out and you guys get it early. This month I'm a little bit behind, so it's only going to be like a day or two early than YouTube, but still. And there's other stuff that I do on Patreon. If you want to learn tarot and psychic development, that's on tier 4. You can sign up to tier 4. You will still get access to everything on tier 1 as well. So all the monthly videos that I add and the pick a card readings and things like that. So all that said, let's get into it, guys. So May is going to be a very intense month, and that's not because of, any full moon or an eclipse or anything like that. It's because we have an outer planet changing signs. Yes, another one. So we recently had Neptune go into Aries. Well, Saturn is going to be joining Neptune in Aries. This is really a big change. It's going to be pretty intense to have both these outer planets, Saturn and Neptune, both in Aries now. This starts at the end of this month. I'll give you all the dates for everything, but I just want to mention this is big news. If you're in Aries, you do need to listen to the astrology. If you're interested in finding out how this is going to affect you, I highly recommend listening. When I say if you're in Aries sun, moon, rising, Venus or Mars even. So what's the other stuff? That's the standout thing for this month, but there's other stuff I'm going to talk about and I'll get into it now. So for May, starting from the beginning of May, we're obviously just generally we're in Taurus season. So happy birthday to my fellow Taurians. Yes, it's my birthday month too. And then from May 21st, it's Gemini's turn to have their birthday, obviously, and then into first half of June. So happy birthday to the Geminis out there as well. We've got Pluto retrograde from 5th of May. What to expect with that? So those most affected are going to be Aquarians. Why? Because Pluto is in Aquarius. But also if your chart is Pluto ruled, if you've got a very strong Scorpio placement, like when I say Pluto ruled, that would be a Scorpio rising like myself, or Scorpio sun, moon, even Venus or Mars, you can feel this Pluto retrograde. Pluto retrograde is where the energy goes more within. So you're going to feel these issues around personal empowerment, what it means for you to feel empowered, what you need to do in your life to take your power back, not power over others, but power for your own self, to feel aligned to your authentic self. Pluto energy is really at its core about personal empowerment and authenticity, and using the resources that you have for their best use in your life. And obviously it's going to depend what your natal Pluto is placed in. So if you have, like my generation, we have Pluto in Libra, this is going to factor in relationships and how you share your resources in relationships, how you connect with others in relationships, what patterns there are there, what patterns you have. So there's a lot of reflecting inwardly with this Pluto retrograde starting from the 5th of May for the whole month and onwards, but concentrating on this month. And sometimes we can feel that issues are coming up around personal empowerment. We may be getting triggered around these issues. That's possible as well. And how that ties into resources or finances as well, like shared money and things like that. Mercury moves into Taurus on the 11th of May. So this does bring a focus on more practical issues, a methodical approach to things, a step-by-step approach rather than sort of rushing into things. The mind is kind of, with Mercury being in Taurus, wanting to slow things down a little bit and go, hang on a second, if I take this step, what are the consequences of this decision, if it's a serious decision or if it's something significant? And with Taurus, it's very much around the material resources, our finances, what we're investing in, whether it's in business or work stuff. So you want to know that you have security at this time, because Taurus is about that. It's about stability. It's about knowing where things are at, and in a sense, because it's ruled by Venus, there's a need for it to make sense and for it to be harmonious. There's not you know, with Mercury in Taurus, we're not really going to feel very good if there's situations around us that are full of conflict or full of contradictions or instability. It's just going to make it feel very uncomfortable and just feels jarring, you know, on a deep level, especially to the mind. So going forward from the 11th of May with Mercury in Taurus, we're going to be seeking more stability. We're going to be seeking more peace through the decisions that we make. Like, does this decision bring my life peace, a sense of value, a sense of connection? But there can also be a focus on finances, material things as well, like buying new things, things that bring you comfort or stability, things that enhance your experience of feeling good. Very much Taurus energy. Then on May 12th, we have a full moon. Okay, so this full moon, it's an intense one. It's in the sign of Scorpio. So if you know astrology, you know that the moon in Scorpio is in its full position, meaning it's in a difficult position there. So with this energy happening, yeah, it's also on the 22nd degree, which in astrology, anything on 22 of a fixed sign is known to have a bit of a danger element to it. Okay, so 22 of a fixed, not any sign, but a fixed sign. So Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, or Taurus. So this is in, as I said, Scorpio. So I'd say this full moon might be a little bit difficult on May 12th and leading up to May 12th, so the day before and the day of. Also, the reason why there's a very hard aspect from Uranus. So Uranus is opposing, well, it could be a square, which is worse, but an opposition from Uranus is still can bring in unexpected things out of the blue that sort of create chaos or create instability. And could be shocking as well. So there is a very strong energy around that full moon. If you've got anything around 22 degrees of the signs I mentioned, I'll say them again, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, this could affect you quite significantly in some way. Something unexpected could happen that maybe is jarring or shocking or upsetting, because again, the full moon in Scorpio is in full, so it tends to be more of a difficult thing to deal with. It's not going to be like that for everyone. Like I said, the fixed signs that I mentioned would be most affected. Venus continues her transit into Aries the whole month, so that's the same. Mars continues through Leo, that's the same. So with Mars and Venus, which are masculine and feminine energies in fiery signs, we could be feeling very passionate. We could be feeling very, it's kind of self-focused as well. Like Venus in Aries is more focused on what I need, what I want, and Mars in Leo can be like that as well. Though those signs can also be very generous, gregarious, and fun. So that's an aspect that's also in the background. And did I miss, where's the new moon? Oh yeah, the new moon is on May 26 in Gemini at 6 degrees of Gemini. Now that happens on the exact same day that big news that I mentioned at the beginning of this reading happens with Saturn going to Aries. That's the big news. So Saturn has not been in Aries since 1998, 1999. So if you were an adult or, you know, a teen, or, you know, you can remember back then what was happening in your life then, that can give you a bit of a heads up on, because whenever Saturn changes signs, it really does have a strong influence in our life. And, you know, you'd have to look at, if you know your chart, what part of your chart Saturn is transiting through to see, you know, what type of your life might be going through a bit of a restructure and change of direction in some way. So yeah, it's interesting, because if you can remember 1998 to 99, there might be some similar things. It's not going to be exactly the same, but say you changed jobs or you changed your path in some way. You know, think back to that just to get a bit of a gauge on what the possibilities could be in some way parallel to or similar to. Like I said, it's not going to be exactly the same though. But Saturn in Aries is in its most difficult placement. Okay, so if that's impacting your chart, if you've got anything, who's going to be impacted? Let's just cover that. Early born or early degree Aries people. This is bringing some tests to you. You're having to look at the reality of your situation with new eyes. You may be doubting things. You may be struggling with your reality. Also, those that have early degree or early born Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra will be affected by Saturn in Aries, okay? And it's, you know, Saturn always tests us and brings us some kind of test. So, you know, if you want a personal reading to look at if Saturn is affecting you, get in touch with me. I've got many years, over 25 years studying astrology. It's interesting because astrologers will say I've been studying astrology for so many years, because there's so much to learn It's so nuanced, and you're always learning new things because it's incredibly multi-layered and in-depth. So yeah, that's the astrology, guys, for the month ahead. It's interesting that, like I said, there's a new moon when Saturn goes into Aries that same day. I find that very interesting. But if you want to know more about that, join me on Patreon, where I talk about more in depth for, you know, the new moons and full moons. Like I said, I'm just going to sip my water and then I'm going to get to the cards for the month ahead. All right, so first group, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Let's see what you guys have for this month of May 2025. So since I'm doing the fire signs, oh, we have a card already. Oh, the death card. Wow, endings and new beginnings. So the death card is always very symbolic. You know, it doesn't mean necessarily that there is a death. Obviously, it's more symbolic. It can indicate big changes in your life. And, you know, I want to say this is, if you're watching this and you've got early Aries in your chart, this could be very, very apt, very appropriate for you because of all the changes. Two of Swords. You might be struggling with decisions and decisions around change in the month of May. That's what I'm seeing for the fire signs. So the Two of Swords here, a couple of things, you know, this can indicate is, do I make a change? Do I stick with what I've got? Do I make a change? Or do I just let things, you know, have their natural ending process here? For the fire signs, it looks like you're in some kind of inner mental conflict or turmoil around some changes in your life, okay? That's what I'm seeing here. But this death card is a very fated energy, very destined energy. So it indicates where it's like an end of a cycle that is meant to be, you know. I'm going to get one more card from this deck. By the way, this is a new deck. This is the Moonlight Dream Tarot, which I really love. Very soft, muted colours. Fire signs, what have we got for May? What else do they need to know? This one did not want to go back in. Actually, both of these. You have the Nine of Pentacles. That's a good financial card. With the Fool. Wow. So some fire signs, you might have started a new job or be starting a new job or some kind of new beginning financially in May. I'm hearing something started in April for some fire signs. For some fire signs, something started in April, but some of you guys have got something new this month around financial stuff. It could be a new trajectory around business, work, that kind of thing. But it does look very positive here with the Nine of Pentacles. It could be you're doing something more your own thing, or doing something more on your own. We have a lone figure here, a lone figure here. And the Nine of Pentacles can indicate someone doing something more on their own. Okay, so maybe you're thinking about some kind of new path, like how can I go forward that's in a way that's more independent for me. That's what I'm getting here. All right, let's look at the Divine Goddess messages cards. What else is there for the fire signs for May? Any other messages? Ooh, you have opportunity. Follow your heart and be open to possibility. That's a really nice card. I love that. There's one more here. Reflection. You mirror both the good and bad in each other. So this could be related to a relationship where there's some mirroring going on. So mirroring meaning there's some unconscious things that just naturally happen where you kind of reflect things back to each other in a way that sometimes it's very intense because it's coming from the subconscious mind. So there could be fears that are getting triggered through the relationship. There could also be some positive energies that are being experienced that are feeling nice. For some of you, there could be a new relationship this month if you're not in a relationship, because with the opportunity and this couple card, it feels like there's this key in the couple. It feels like there is an opportunity for some fire signs for a new connection. But if you're in an existing connection, this could be where, you know, you're learning from the phase that you're at, and it's not easy. Kind of, I feel a bit of a gut feeling of like, oh, it's a bit heavy at times. It's a bit draining, but there's something here that you are learning from it. Let's get you a numbers card. 24, creative expression. Express your creativity. It will lead you to exciting opportunities in the future. All right, fire signs. So there's something about being able to do something in the future somehow, that if you're in a job that you're not happy in at the moment, there is actually an opportunity coming up. For some of you, it is this month of something new with work, but I feel like for others, it's a message to say, if you've been often found yourself stuck in jobs that you don't really like, there's something in your future that you may think of this month or that connects with you this month somehow, even if it's just a thought or an idea or say a dream or a message. that's giving you a heads up about your future, about doing something that feels more aligned to your soul for your work situation, or like a hobby that becomes a job, something like that for some of you. All right, let's go to, I'm just going to sip my water. Earth sign. It's just started raining outside. Oh, Earth signs, what have you got? Two of Wands, making plans and decisions. Oh, and another card just jumped. The Seven of Wands, protecting your energy, protecting yourself. Wow, interesting. I'm going to get one more card for Earth signs. I just dived out. Oh, the Tower. Okay. Right, so, okay, what I'm getting here for Earth signs is a really strong message. I don't know why I'm a Taurus too. I'm getting Taurus in particular, but all earth signs. There's something that is with the Tower coming in that's unexpected, could be a bit shocking. Something that you find out about someone, or that you hear about, or that comes up, some news. You've sensed this and you felt the need to protect yourself. Now, please be aware that this is a collective reading. This is not going to relate to every single person that's an earth sign, their personal reading. But this is what I'm getting. And if this doesn't resonate, maybe check for your rising or moon sign. But for earth signs, I'm getting you have been sensing with the Two of Wands something in the future that's been pending, and you've been blocking this energy from your life, protecting yourself from it. Maybe you've put someone on block for a reason, because your intuition's saying, like, to protect yourself from this. The Tower is saying that's a wise decision, because there's something going on behind the scenes that if you weren't aware or trusting your instinct for your personal boundaries, this could affect you in a more negative way. But it looks like you will hear about it or find out about something. So I'd say keep working on self-protection and continue having your boundaries in place to protect your energy, because it is necessary at this time for some reason. Interesting. Earth signs. What's any other messages for earth signs for May? Oh, look, awareness. Take time to be fully present in the moment. Yeah, see, this connects in with, I said, your intuition's protecting you. You're very in tune, earth signs, this month, and your intuition is absolutely protecting you here with the awareness cards. Your guides are connecting very strongly. See how this person's with their eyes closed, but the higher self is very switched on. What I'm getting here is there's something that you can't see in the physical, but your higher self knows. And it's giving you, it's informing you on some level, whether it's through an anxious feeling when you're around someone, or a feeling like you don't know if you can trust a personal situation. And that's why the Seven of Wands has come up, to protect your energy and stand your ground against something that is chaotic with the Tower. All right. You know, it might be a feeling for some of you like this month, like, oh, I just have a feeling I shouldn't go to that event. Or, and I'm not saying be in fear. That's not what I'm saying. It's like your own intuition informs you. You might be like, oh yeah, I feel really good about going to that thing. I don't feel any issues with it. But then there's something else that you feel you don't want to attend, or you don't want to hang out with a particular person at a particular place, or whatever it is. There's something that your intuition's really informing you and protecting you from. And, you know, what I'm getting here is you will be protected from it. Okay, so you don't need to be worried and be in some kind of hypervigilant state. You just need to trust. Let's see what the special numbers card is for the earth signs. We have 2424. This came up for the previous group for fire signs. Express your creativity. It will lead you to exciting opportunities in the future. Creative stuff this month is very good for you. That makes sense for Taurus season, where the energy is a bit more practical, like creative, and maybe something that you can even make money from, because Taurus is that kind of energy. Abundance I'm getting as well, so connected to creative stuff or a creative path. All right, moving on. So I've done fire, earth. Now I need to do, I'm going to do the water signs. That's what I was going to do air, but I'm like, no, water. Okay, water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio for the month of May. Oh, jumping card. Wow, justice for water signs. Gosh, that's a strong card. And what's jumped out here? We have the Page of Cups and the Three of Cups. Wow, that's a really interesting combination of cards. So for water signs, the Justice card shows something is working out in your favor. Something that emotionally may have affected you in a you know, an emotionally difficult way. with the Page of Cups. I get a sorrow or a sadness from this card, and it's reminding me of the Five of Cups. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, is this the Five of Cups? But I was like, no, it's the Page. But it's reminding me of that energetically. But look at this here. So if any of you water signs have anything to do with a legal matter, now keep in mind I'm talking to water sign, rising, sun and moon, a legal matter, there is a favorable outcome here because you have the Three of Cups at the end. Celebration, reconnection. Now, also, there's a message here for water signs for those that may have gone through a separation or like a temporary separation. It could be something like that, right? It's saying that there is a reconnecting because the Three of Cups can be like a reunion energy as well. So if there's been, for the water signs, bumps in the road in a relationship or a temporary separation, temporary breakup it could be, or a legal matter, something gets resolved in your favor here. Oh, the other group had this card as well, awareness. Take time to be fully present in the moment. So don't worry about what an outcome's going to be. Trust that you're going to be looked after here. That's what I'm seeing. I'm going to get one more card from this deck. Water signs. Ascension. You rise to the highest spiritual pinnacle. This is about raising your frequency and choosing better for yourself in some way. And it's like with the awareness card, it's saying you already know what this is about. You already know that there's something that you have to choose better for yourself, because whatever you've been in, whether it's a relationship or situation that has been painful, work situation, could be anything, right? You're starting to feel that, or you've been feeling for a while for some of you, that this is no longer right for you. And you're starting to feel like it's getting time to move on. So an awareness about this is coming in this month. 29. Interesting, because that's 11. Yeah, divine wisdom. Seek wisdom from within. Your inner guidance is a wellspring of knowledge. Yeah, so for water signs, like everyone knows that water signs are very naturally intuitive, right? And this is saying, don't forget you're a very intuitive soul and you have access to higher information from your guides. We all do. And the guides always speak to you with kindness, compassion, and a sense of comfort, or just a neutral tone. They never give you anything fearful. Unless they really are warning you, like in a moment where your guardian angels have to step in for something, they'll say, you might hear a very loud, don't go further, or stay back, or a feeling of like protecting yourself. That can happen, but for the most part, the guides are not negative or snarky or dark. You know, there's no tone like that. Protective, yes, they can be, like a parent like trying to protect you if rare situation. But generally speaking, your guidance is very connected. Those watching that are water signs, okay? You have a feeling about things. Sometimes your mind, of course, can interfere and throw you off. But if you go back to your center, like your gut feeling, what is your gut feeling? What is your body's knowing? That's where your wisdom is. And so you have access to those powerful messages, especially this month. That's what your guides are saying, okay? All right, thanks, water signs. Moving on. Lastly, to the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Happy birthday, Gemini, if you're born at the 21st of May onwards. Judgment. Powerful. Wow. Air signs, May. Oh, another card's flipped out. What's that one? That is the Eight of Swords. Oh, wow. And the Seven of Wands. Oh, interesting. So the air signs looks like some of you are being released from something that has been restricting you with the Judgment card and the Eight of Swords. This is Pluto energy. This is like a transformation. And this can be like things that have been holding you back on a mental level. You know, this is the Eight of Swords is the inner self in the mind and feeling stuck and trapped within the mind. I wonder if you can hear the rain. It's so loud. It's loud for me, but I don't know if it's coming through on the audio over the camera. It's kind of relaxing, actually. I'm looking out the window to the rain. But this is saying, you know, there might have been something that has been holding you back on the level of your own thinking, on your perceptions of things. Maybe you've been fixated on certain negative things. And this is saying, and you felt the need to be overly self-protective with the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. It's a heavy energy here. You know, it's like you might be feeling there's just things going on around you that you just are frustrated by, and you just feel very self-protective. But here's the thing with the Judgment card. The Judgment card is saying, for some of you, you don't need to always be on the lookout for this negativity. Just protect yourself and know you're safe and protected, and working on that. But for some of you, there's a transformation that's taking place in May of something that has been difficult for you on the mental level and on the real life level. So there's a few messages here. Let's have a look at the Divine Goddess message for the earth sign, not the earth signs, the air signs, sorry, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius from May. What's your Divine Goddess message? Oh, jumping. Oh, you have 2 cards. Nice. Abundance. Your goals and plans are coming to fruition. Wow. With passage, you are moving into a different phase of life. Wow. I really get, if some of you are looking for work or a new job situation, it is definitely there for you. There's a new path here. And it's an abundant path. So there will be good money with this situation. I feel like some of you or a few of you are looking for a new job or a change with your work situation. This is a big yes, and it's very positive. You're going to be looked after. So if you've had worries about that, it's looking very good for that, a resolution to that. Some of the air signs have been going through a lot mentally. I'm feeling a very heavy mental burden. So there's just been a lot going on. But you're in a process of transformation because you have the Judgment and the Passage card. So you need patience at this time with some of the changes going on in your life. It's not easy, and you may feel you have to surrender control a little bit at times, but still you have opportunities to grow around you, which are really nice. Oh, manifest your dreams. 34. Your desires are within reach. Stay focused and watch your dreams turn into reality. Yes, stay focused. Don't let yourself get mentally scattered, because at this time you do have a lot of change around you. Some of you might be looking for a new job or wanting a change with your work situation. There's a positive path that's unfolding with the Abundance and Passage, but you need to stay focused, okay? Don't let yourself get scattered emotionally, is what I'm getting. All right, guys, so those were the readings for this month of May. Thank you so much. And like I said, if you'd like to join me on Patreon, the link's below. If you'd like to book a reading, the link is below. Talk to you next month. Thanks, everyone. Bye.